Mwahahaha. I'm not very good at speaking. Mwahahaha, and welcome to our Halloween special. I haven't had a nasty accident. Don't worry, it's not ukulele related. I haven't bashed myself on the head or anything. Um, it's our Halloween special tonight. So we're going to do some spooky songs and have a whole heap of fun. I'm away on holiday next week, off to sunny Dorset. Hopefully sunny, probably rainy. So I'm not going to be here for the actual Halloween week. So we're going 1 week early with our Halloween songs tonight. So happy Halloween, happy early Halloween, everyone. I hope you're all keeping well. So we're going to have loads of fun with some really cool spooky songs tonight. And at some point, I'm going to bring in some of your spooky Halloween photos. In fact, I'm just going to ping them over now so I can bring some on screen. Because you guys have been sending me some of your spooky Halloween photos to get us in the mood, which is fantastic. So, here we go. Right, fantastic. They have arrived. So, just to get us in the mood, I haven't got labels on each of these, so I'm not going to read out names or anything, but I'll just ping some of them up whilst we're welcoming all the guests. So let's stick them up here, and we'll bring a few on the screen. So, oh yeah, this is a nice one with the pumpkin. Look at that. I think that was Leslie. Is that yours, Leslie? I've got a feeling. Apparently Leslie's husband really enjoys getting into the Halloween theme of everything. So that's a great one. And this one as well, I think, from same garden. Is that that's the great purple people eater, isn't it? Which is classic. This one just made me laugh. I charge 200 for a gig and a bottle of vodka if you want balloon animals. Thank you very much. Let's see what else we've got. Paul sent us a picture of his dad's beautiful. Look at that. I mean, that's not scary at all, but it is in a graveyard, so it does count. How beautiful is that car, though? Absolutely fantastic. More spookiness from Leslie's garden, I think. Oh, very nice. Looking very handsome here. That's kind of got a bit of a steampunk vibe going on, which I love. And here's I think this is Ben, his wife, over in the States. Isn't that great? This is probably during COVID times, I'm guessing, judging by the masks and everything and the brilliant hats. That's awesome. Absolutely awesome. And then we've got Sheila and her husband over in sunny Oahu as well. So fantastic. Thanks, guys, for bringing those in. I'm really sending those in. If anyone's got any extras, just send them along and I'll stick them on the Facebook page because it'd be nice to have some stuff up for Halloween as well, wouldn't it? So it's all good. So yeah, some brilliant fun kind of Halloween songs tonight we can do. None of them are particularly difficult, so I think you'd be fine. I did notice that there was an error on one of the sheets. I don't know what happened, but we got the chords wrong on one of the songs. I got the chords wrong on one of the songs. So I've redone one of the pages in your sheets. I've put the new link up on the Facebook page and on YouTube and whatnot. If you printed these off in the last hour, you're probably fine. But if not, it's just the chords on Bad Moon Rising. I've changed them around, but I'll talk you through that as we go anyway. It'll be absolutely fine. So just a reminder of a couple of things coming up before we get started. We've got our Beatles live lesson this Wednesday. I'm so excited about this one. One of my favourite tunes of all time, Penny Lane by the Beatles, Paul McCartney's beautiful melodic masterpiece. We're going to look at the key changes. We're going to look at playing chords up the neck. I'm going to tell you about how the song works. We're going to go into all sorts of detail on this one. And it's going to be a bit of a precursor to my Beatles course, which is going to start in November. I know I've been promising it for about half a year and I haven't got around to making it yet, but it is going to start in November. I've got a busy week this week clearing out the old shop, and then I'm away on holiday next week. And then when I get back, I'm going to hit the ground running, and we'll have another live lesson, and then we're going to have the Beatles course going as well. So heaps of exciting things happening when I get back in November. So stay tuned for that, everyone. Okay, I think what we'll do, let's get going. So Yay, Beatles, Penny Lane, says Tim. Love it. Tim actually gave me a great idea because originally I was wondering whether to tackle that piccolo solo in the middle. And me and Tim were talking about how beautifully melodic it was and how it's nice to have something there. So I created quite a cool chordal melodic part to that bit. So I think you're going to really, really enjoy that. Hey, Karen. Hope you're doing well. Hey, everyone. I hope you're ready for a fantastic Halloween. Okay, let's have a look at our first song and you'll see how this all works. You guys all know this by now, but let's just go through it again. So we play songs in a particular key, and every key has 7 main chords that we number 1 through to 7. This one, unusually, is in a minor key. So this one's in the key of E minor. So we would just number it E, F, G, A, B, going up the scale, as you would imagine. And the most common chords that are going to come up in a song, generally, and you're going to see this loads tonight, I've already checked through the songs, are the 1 and the 4 and the 5 chords. And even though this is in a minor key, check it out. Look, we've got the 1 chord and the 4 chord in the first verse, just with the 5 chord at the end. So E, A, and B. E being your 1 chord, A being your 4 chord, and B being your 5 chord. And what we do is we put those in boxes, and unless I tell you otherwise, we're in common time, so you can just presume that that's 4 beats per measure. So you could just count to 4 on each of those. I'll go into the beautiful progression and everything in this in more detail in a minute, but just as an example, if I come in on close cam, we would start with an E minor for a whole measure, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then where we have 2 chords in a box, we do them for half a measure each. That's 2 beats, right? 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. It's that simple, and that's why it's really cool to write it out this way, because you can see the structure, and even if you've never played this song, it's a bit like by numbers. You can count along and play along. The idea is eventually, if you feel brave enough, you could start to learn some of these songs off by heart, which is a really nice way of playing in the kind of true Kanikapila spirit, if you like, which is really nice. So let's have a look at what's happening in this one. I've already told you this one's normally it's my hair getting in my eyes, this time it's my bandage. I've already told you this one's in the key of E minor. Now, even though we're in the minor key, the idea of the 4 chord creating a sense of change and a 5 chord creating tension still works. So this is what we've got going on in the verse. The 1 chord sets you off on a journey, and in this case, that's just a bog standard E minor. The 4 chord gives you a sense of change, which then resolves back to the 1 chord again. So it gives you a sense of a little bit of movement. And that's what happens at the start. 4 beats of E minor, 2 of A minor, and then we're back to E minor again. Now, I really like to use my 2nd finger to A minor. I find it just makes a really smooth change when I'm coming back to this E minor chord afterwards. You could use your 1st if you like, and then kind of have these 2 ready to come back. Whatever works for you, but I like to use my 2nd. It just feels really, really comfortable to me. So let's practice 4 beats of that E minor, 2 of A minor, 2 E minor, 2 of A minor, 2 E minor. Let's just try that just to get us going. 2, 3, 4, E minor, 2, 3, 4, A minor, E minor, A minor, E minor. Then we have the 5 chords coming in. Remember that in any key, whatever your key you're in, the 5 chords about creating tension, and then that makes it kind of begs for the 1 chord, which is exactly what's going on here. Now, when you're playing in E minor, the 5 chord is a B chord, which tends to be played as a B7. And the reason that works amazingly on ukulele, which I love, is that to play a B7, all you need to do is lift all of these fingers up a string. So that's a B7. And then here, E minor 7. E minor, sorry, I don't know why I bet 7 on the end. B7, E minor. So for that last measure, we just play 2 of these. and then just drop your fingers down like so. And a tip that I like to use when I'm going between B7 and E minor, I like to kind of scout ahead with that finger there. James Hill talks about this in his, he's got a course which he calls Booster Uke, and it's all about these chord twins where you have these two chords next to each other. And he talks quite a lot about pre-preparing yourself with that finger. So if I was to do a verse, for this one we're not going to do anything really super fancy with the strumming. I'm just going to play this as a walk, running, running, running. Okay, walk, running, 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 down, down, up, down, up, down, up, walk, running, running, running. Just dead simple like that. So if I was to play a verse, it would look something like this. 2, 3, 4, E minor, A minor to E minor, and again. Then we move up to B7, back down. And we go again. A minor, E minor, A minor, E minor, up to B7 and back down. Yeah, really lovely. Now, if you want to, you can have a practice of that whilst I'm talking about the next bit. So you have a little play around with that. If that is a bit fast, just take the tempo down and get used to those changes. Really, such a cool song. It's so mean and moody, this one, but it has a real groove to hit it as well. Thanks, Fran. It is a costume, I promise. I've not done myself a mischief. I'm hiding my new haircut, though. I've chopped all my hair off, so I'm hiding it under a hat as well, so that's my another excuse. Okay. So that's the verses. Really, really, really simple. Just 1, 4, 5, and like I say, you see a lot of that tonight. Then when we go to the chorus is mostly based on that 5 chord again, the B7. It's like one long bit of tension, which makes sense when this song's kind of about strangeness and weirdness, right? 1967, Jim Morrison wrote this. Apparently there's a lovely fact in Karen's Fascinating Facts at the back, where he was having a conversation with one of his friends, and he was saying that how he found people weird, basically, and his friend said to him, if you're strange, people are strange, or the other way around, if people are strange, you're strange. And Jim Morrison thought, people are strange, and he created a song out of it. I love those little kind of etymology of songs. It's kind of fascinating, isn't it? That's how it came about. So kind of weird song, so it's full of tension. So we want that tension when we go to the next section, which we do by starting with the 5 chord, that B7. So we get that lovely B7 there. Karen's just got a comment. I'm just going to bring it in for a second because I think it's about creating a spooky sound. For the chorus on the last B7, sliding from the 1st fret into the 2nd to give it a more spooky sound. Whoa, nice. So I think that's what Karen's talking about. It's rather than just hitting the B7 like this, try. Isn't that cool? If you want to try it, just start your B flats, your B7 1 fret back like a B flat, and then just squeeze it up. Yeah, that's a cool thing to do, and you can bend if you want that spooky sound. Later when we look at soloing, I'm going to show you how to get that spooky sound when we're soloing as well, which should be loads of fun. So that chorus, we just go on the 5 chord, and then just to create a little bit of kind of darkness, we go to the 3 chord. Now, because it's a major chord, it doesn't sound particularly kind of dark, does it? It's not like a minor chord, but the 3 chord always has a sense of darkness about it, both in a major and a minor key. So it does go along perfectly with these kind of creepy sounding chords. Quite a tricky change, right? You've got to get used to going from these fingers here and then switching round to that G and then back again. You might want to practice that a few times. Of course, if you're into your bar chords, you could play a B7 like this, and then you could swap to a G like this. B7, that's just the whole of the 2nd fret, 2nd finger, 3rd fret of the C string. And then the G is like an F that's been moved up, basically, which is another thing to do as well. So, yeah. Tim says, chopping off his hair. Now, that is scary. I know, right? Particularly Tim, seeing as I have less. Every time I go to my barber, she's really lovely. But every time I go, she's like, You got a little bit less on top there. So it's a bit depressing, isn't it? It's all part of the joys of getting older, eh? It's all good fun. Okay, so let's have a go at that chorus. That will look and sound something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, B7, G, B7. Then we do it again. Stay on B7, G, back to B7, and then we just stay on that for another 3 measures. Just like that. Yeah, you've got it really nice, isn't it? Oh, I like it. Samson, very nice and drowny. Regina Spektor's got a song about Samson. It's a really great song, actually. You should look it up. It's fantastic. Okay, so let's put that all together. I'll sing a chorus so you get an idea. 1, 2, 3. When you're strange, faces come out of the rain. When you're strange, no one remembers your name. When you're strange, when you're strange, when you're strange. Cool, right? I love that. Such a cool chorus. That's basically it. Now, we've got two opportunities for soloing tonight, if you fancy it. So, let's have a look. Andre's just saying, hello from Germany, ready to start to play with you all. Today I have 3 hands. Oh, the third hand is, cool. The one from the Addams Family. Love it. Fantastic. My daughter's massively into Wednesday, which is Wednesday Addams. She's got a spin-off series from the Addams Family and she loves it. Thing, isn't it? Love it. Okay, so thank you. So we've got 2 opportunities to solo for this one. We're doing it in 2 places. The first one, it happens after the 3rd verse, and we're going to solo over some really simple chords. And the chords are the ones here. B7 for 2 measures, E minor for 2 measures. Okay, so if you're strumming, you can just play that, and then we do that again. And then the other instrumental, which happens after the penultimate chorus, you'll see it on the next page where it says instrumental there. For that one, what we're going to do is we're going to do a whole verse, basically, just the chords to the verse, and you can have a go at soloing over the top of those as well. Now, the scales that you're going to use to solo on are in your scales and reference sheet. It's the G major or E minor pentatonic scales, both the same scales start from a different place, and that's here on this page. So notice this one's for Indrani. We've got the G major scale way up here. I'm tipping so you can see my dots. At the 7th to the 9th fret of the C string, 7th to the 10th fret of the E string, 7th to the 10th fret of the A string, okay? It's that My Girl riff, right? And the E minor, which pairs up with it beautifully. It's a similar shape, but not quite the same. 4 to 7 on the C string, 5 to 7 on E, and 5 to 7 on A. Now, if you want a really spooky sounding solo, there's a really cool, simple thing you can do with those patterns, if you like. You can fill in the gaps, because hitting some of those wrong notes between the right notes sounds super sweet. It's real jazzy anyway, and it works with these spooky sounding pieces tonight. So rather than just going 7-9 at the start of that G major pentatonic, try hitting the 8th fret as well, like this. And when you go to the next string, and you don't have to do these in order, obviously truly good solos should be in different orders and big intervallic leaps and all sorts. But here, if we're going up, rather than going 7 to 10, try filling in the gap, 7, 8, 9, 10. And it can sound really cool, kind of creepy, but really cool. I'll give you an example. If I play the backing track, hopefully this will work. I'll turn my little speaker on. And earlier I recorded a backing track. Here we go. Where is it? Strange verse. There we go. So have a listen. This would be kind of just the pentatonic scale notes if I just play those first, so you can hear how that would sound. I'll do the E minor to start off with. G major. Now notice that's kind of cool, but have a listen to this now. I'm going to fill in some of the gaps. Do you see how it's so much fun? It sounds creepy, doesn't it? It's like the cleverest, sweetest thing. So you just take those shapes and literally just fill in the gaps in between, and don't stick on a wrong note for too long. Kind of pass over it and hit the right note, and it will sound really beautiful. There's a great quote, I can't for the life of me remember who said it, that said, there's no wrong note as long as it resolves to a right note. And I think that's true. I think that's totally true. So structure just goes verse, chorus, verse, and then we do a solo, and then chorus, an instrumental verse, and then chorus. If you're not sure, just watch my fingers. You'll see where I am. And I'll try and say when we go in between sections as well, so you can see it. I'll move that over a bit so you can see those. Okay, cool. I think I'll try and stay on this camera. And then if I go that way, you can see what's happening with my chords. Yeah, that should work. Right, let me just get the song sheet up so I can see what I'm doing. And let's give it a whiz. Okay, guys, let's have loads of fun. Let's do the solo as an intro. I think that would be really nice. Miles Davis. I think you're right, Dranny. Love it. So let's do the solo first. You can either solo or just play the chords as a little intro, and then we'll go into the first verse. Ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. And then E minor. And we'll do it again. And then E minor. Then we'll do a verse. Here we go. 2, 3. People are strange. When you're a stranger, faces look ugly. When you're alone, women seem wicked. When you're unwanted, streets are uneven. When you're down cross, when you're strange, faces come out in the rain. When you're strange, no one remembers your name. When you're strange, when you're strange, when you're strange, people are strange. When you're a stranger, faces look ugly. When you're alone, women seem wicked. When you're unwanted, streets are uneven. When you're down, when you're strange, faces come out of the rain. When you're strange, no one remembers your name. When you're strange, when you're strange, when you're strange. Take a solo. 2, 3, 4. And just strum with me if not B7. And E minor. Then we're going to do another chorus. When you're strange, faces come out of the rain. When you're strange, no one remembers your name. When you're strange, when you're strange, when you're strange. Take a solo, first chorus. And again. One final chorus. When you're strange, faces come out of the rain. When you're strange, one remembers your name. When you're strange, when you're strange, when you're strange. Yeah, there we go. I love that song, even though I went wrong. Who cares? It's all good fun, right? it's just great. I absolutely love it. And aren't the chords? They sound so exotic, don't they? They're not particularly unusual. It could be thought of really as like a minor blues song, and of course, Jim Morrison was like really big into the blues, and he loved his minor blues as well. He used it in all sorts of Doors songs, so it's got that kind of classic, kind of minor bluesy groove to it, hasn't it? Which is fantastic. Let me know how you got on with that, guys. I'd love to know how you got on. Any questions or anything, do ask. And if you can, when you're on YouTube, if you have your live chat enabled, then you can chat along with the rest of us as well. There's always great community comments going on, and of course you can ask questions. And I love questions. Questions are amazing. Sometimes I forget to tell you stuff, and it's just really nice to kind of have a conversation about it all. It's great fun. So this next one then we're going to look at is a classic Creedence Clearwater revival, probably their most famous song, isn't it? And apparently John Fogerty wrote this. It's quite an intense song, even though it's got quite upbeat chords in it. He wrote this about the oncoming apocalypse, and it didn't happen in 1969 going into the 70s. It probably felt like it, didn't it, with the Vietnam War and then going into the Cold War, but somehow we've managed to avoid it, haven't we? So let's hope that we managed to avoid it for another 40, 50 years, or preferably forever. But he wrote this. Yeah, it's a very kind of, it's one of my favourite types of songs where you have quite dark lyrics to very upbeat chords. It's like that hot and cold thing. You know, when you're having steaming hot porridge and you put cold milk on the top, and it's beautiful. I think the same thing with kind of melancholy lyrics to happy chords. I think they go together really, really beautiful. This is no exception to this. Now, as I say, I don't know what happened with the chords. I mucked it up right royally when I did these sheets. We did these many moons ago, possibly last Halloween, and for some reason I had the chords. The chords were right, but they were for the wrong key in the chorus. So if you haven't downloaded these in the last hour, oh excuse me. Just copy down these new chords in the chorus. I'll go through them in detail anyway, but notice they will have changed from your original sheets if you printed out these already. Now, if you have got the wrong sheets and you want the right ones, I've updated the YouTube link, so the correct ones are up there now, and the Facebook link, and on my webpage as well. So if you go there now, you will get the correct ones. If you've printed them out and you don't want to print out like 13 sheets again and you've kept them for a folder or something, it's only this one. It's page 4 of 13 that you need to print out. All the others are absolutely fine. All right. So just page 4 you need to look at. So yeah, I know what you mean, Intrani. There's some really dark lyrics, isn't there? In I think particularly the third verse, there's some really dark lyrics in this one. Where is it? I hope you've got your things together. I hope you're quite prepared to die. Looks like we're in for nasty weather. One eye is taken for an eye. So wow, it's really intense, isn't it? But a great song there. We're in the key of G for this one, and you can tell that not always, but quite often when you start with a chord, that tends to be the key we're in. Not always. If you're not sure, it's whichever chord that you feel rested on, and in this song, whenever you hit a G, it feels kind of rested. So we have a G to set us out on the journey. I see. And then we have that 5 chord to create tension. I remember the 5 chord in any key makes you want to go back to the 1 chord. In the key of G, we have G, A, B, C, D is 5. Okay. E, F sharp. Every key has a certain amount of sharps and flats. The key of G has one sharp, it's the F sharp. We don't use it in this song, so you don't have to sweat it. So the 1, 4 and a 5 chords, again, look, this whole song is based on those chords. 1 for resolution, 5 for tension, and then that 4 chord just to create a sense of change. And this happens in a lot of blues music where we hit the 5 chord, but instead of going back to the 1 chord straight away, we have the 4 chord first and then the 1 chord. It's almost like a little bit of delayed gratification, I suppose. People have a rude analogy for that, but I think it's like when you smell your mum's Sunday roast cooking when you're a kid, and it takes like 2 hours because a good roast takes a long time. That sense of anticipation makes it taste nicer. That's what I think. There's my analogy for delayed gratification. You may have your own. That's fine. So we have the 1 chord for 1 measure, and then 5, 4, 1, which is really, really lovely. Now this is quite a fast tempo, this song. Now, if you want a simple strum for this one, I like to just do walk, walk, running, running. That's quite simply down, 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 up, down, up, down, 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 up, down, up. Works beautifully, right? Down, 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 up, down, up. Think about it phonetically. Walk, walk, running, running. Walk, walk, running, running. 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3 and 4 and okay. Now, if you want it to sound a little bit more like the original, what the rhythm guitarist does in the original is he misses out the first run of the running. So he has walk, walk, ning, and then running. I can't say it. Walk, walk, and running. It's hard to say, but it sounds like this. 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3. So it's the 3 you're missing out. In slow motion, 1, 2, 3 and 4 and down, down, gap, up, down, up. Like that. I think I'm just going to do my original one because I find it easier. Walk, walk, running, running. Okay. Now, if you find it difficult on the D and the C, you can just do down strums for those. Okay. Or just keep strumming. That's all there is to the verse. I see a bad moon arising. I see trouble on the way. The important thing is those 2 beats at the start, right? It's like a bum, 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 bum. That's the beat that we want to bring out with that. Really, really simple though. Simple 1, 5 and 4 progression. Then in the chorus, we go to, remember this is on the original sheets. I put the wrong chords in here because I was a daft beggar when I wrote it. But it's the 4 chord we go to next. And that makes sense. Whenever we start a new section in music, it tends to be either the relative minor or the 4 chord that we go to next. Okay? So we've had the 1, 4 and 5 chords being played round. Bit of a change. We start the 4 chord, in this case C. Don't go round tonight. Then we have resolution to 1. It's bound to take your life. And then the end of the chorus is that 5, 4, 1 combination again. This time stretched out. There's a bad moon on the rise. That's simple. I do the whole chorus. Don't go out tonight. It's bound to take your life. There's a bad moon on the rise. It's that simple. Really, really easy peasy lemon squeezy one, this. So you'll get this, no problem. That change from D to C takes a bit of practice, but you'll get it. Now this one just goes verse, chorus, verse, chorus, verse, chorus. So the same thing over and over. What I'm going to suggest is after that second chorus, let's put in another verse and chorus, but instrumentally. And then if you want to solo, not everyone will want to, but if you want to solo, you can do. And we're going to use the same 2 the same two scales that we used in the last song. The last song was in E minor, and E minor is the relative minor to G. So you can use exactly the same scales for any song that's in the key of G or E minor. I brought the wrong sheets up. So I'll just bring them up one more time to show you. And again, if you want to, you could do that creepy thing and fill in the gaps in between the scale notes if you want to. Just have a little play around on here. So that would sound, I won't do anything super fancy at all on this. I'll just do a couple of notes just so you can hear. You could keep it simple. You could do something like this with a G major. Oh, hang on, I forgot to put my speaker back on. It's like, where's the sound? Where's the sound coming out? All right, let's try that again. Here we go. That's better. If I fill in, it has that kind of slightly bluesy quality again. And we're going to do a whole of a verse and a chorus on this. Now, if you want to, you could also do the G blues scale on this, which would sound really nice. I think I've got this here somewhere. There it is. Yeah, you could use this G blues scale if you want to. This, because this is almost like a bluesy song, isn't it, this one? So this would work quite well. Now that blues scale, interestingly, is the same shape you did as your E minor pentatonic back here. Only you start it from the G note and go up. And that's because a blues scale is literally the G, any blues scale is a minor pentatonic with the flatted fifth added. And this is your minor pentatonic. And this is your flat note here, this G flat here. And blues scales sound a little bit kind of, well, as you can imagine, bluesier. So you get that kind of... Could do some bends. You could also do the E minor pentatonic. And you can combine them up. So lots of opportunities there to solo using either the G blues scale or the G pentatonic. Have a little play around and see which you prefer. Yeah, just have a load of fun with that. If you don't want to solo, just strum a verse and a chorus with me and you'll have a whole heap of fun anyway, which is what it's all about, right? Okay, let me bring this on to the right page. I'll make that a bit smaller. It doesn't need to be quite that big. There we go. Fantastic. So follow along with this. If you printed off the sheets that have the mistake on, just follow the ones on screen for tonight and then you can print out the right ones later on. Okay, let's do a verse as an instrumental to get us going as well. Here we go. Let me just get my song sheet up as well so I know what I'm doing. There we go. All right. Everyone ready? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. G, D, C, G. For all the verses. I see a bad moon arising. I see trouble on the way. I see earthquakes and lightning. I see bad times today. Here's that chorus, see? Don't go around tonight, it's bound to take your life. There's a another verse. Hope you've got your things together. Hope you are quite prepared to die. Looks like we're in for nasty weather. One eye is taken for an eye. Don't go round tonight, it's bound to take your life. There's a bad moon on the rise. Last line again. There's a bad moon on the rise. Well done, everyone. Oh, great stuff. Absolutely fantastic. You can't go wrong with a bit of Creedence Clearwater Revival on Halloween, can you? Absolute classic. Love it, love it. Right, I'm going to take this hat off, not because I'm curmudgeonly or anything. I'm going to have a weird hair thing going on now, but because this is my uke closet. You might have noticed I've moved from the uke room because I've sold my shop. I've still got the teaching room there, and I'm going to use it for the odd thing, mostly storage at the moment, to be honest. But this is my room at home, and this was our walk-in wardrobe. It's quite small. I've turned it into my ukulele boudoir, if you like, my ukulele closet. But it's very small, and there's no air conditioning, so it gets very, very warm. So if you wonder what's going on, I could feel a trickle of sweat coming down here. Too much information oversharing, but yeah, it's a bit better. So just a reminder, this Wednesday, if you're around, I'd love to see a load of you for my first Beatles uke live lesson. I'm going to do a whole course of these, not live, actually as real genuine lessons like all my other courses that you can watch back anytime, going into a lot of detail. But I thought it'd be fun to do this as a live lesson to kick things off. So we're going to look at penny lane, song structure, we're going to look at chords up the fretboard, the melody, all sorts of beautiful things. And that's this Wednesday, 23rd of October at 3:30. You can download the sheets. They're £5 on my PayHip. It goes into a lot of details, not just the chords and lyrics. And if you're a member of my website, most of you are, because you are lovely, wonderful, supportive people, and I love you to bits for it. steadukulele.com. There you'll find all of my courses. I've got 10 courses now, and you'll find all of the sheets that you can download for free. There's a whole resource of all the tabs and song sheets I've done now, and there's over 100 pieces, so well worth checking out just for that, hopefully. I'll be doing another one of my little play-alongs soon as well. It might not be ready until after I'm back from holiday, just because I've got so much going on at the moment with closing the shop and all that sort of stuff. But I will be back to that as well. We'll have another one of those in the new term. And also, once we've got this live lesson over this Wednesday, don't want it to be over, it's lush and I can't wait for it actually, but I have already pre-prepared the next live lesson as well. And when I'm back from holiday, we're going to have another chord melody piece, and we're going to look at a beautiful piece called Isolé. It's really nice. I don't know if I can remember it off by heart. No, I'll do that again. There it is. Oh, turns out I do remember something off by heart. Phew, that's good. It's a beautiful Fijian piece, and it uses these gorgeous, what we often call double stops, which are just ways of playing notes that are a sixth apart, or often a third apart, like this. And we're going to use those really beautiful harmony, those six, to create these lovely pieces of movement within the chord melody piece. So that's going to be 2 weeks this Wednesday. So we've got the Beatles one first this Wednesday, which I can't wait, and then we're going to have a look at Isolate, which is going to be absolutely lovely. I can't wait for that. Oh, me too. Yeah, absolutely. Me too. I was listening to some of his stuff a couple of weeks ago, actually. So, yeah, me too. You've got a good taste, Ben. Absolutely. Yeah, it was fun, wasn't it? The Creedence and everything. Fantastic. Yeah, me too. It's a lovely way of playing it. And of course, so evocative of Hawaiian music, because slack key guitar is really based on playing sixths, especially going up and down the fretboard using those double stops. So really, really cool. Nice thing to do. And you can really make an arrangement sing. So 2-part harmony. So Beatles this Wednesday, and then another chord melody after that. So heaps of exciting stuff to come. If you want to help support the channel, I always do Kanikapila at no cost. Most of you guys already support me through the website, which is really massively appreciated. That's what keeps the lights on, and I couldn't do it without you guys. But if anyone wants to send over any tips or anything for tonight, because my Uke Room page is going, the old shop page will be disappearing soon. But you can always, the Uke Room tag on PayPal will always be there. So if you want to send anything over, it's paypal.me/the Uke Room. And I'm so grateful for those that do. It means the world to me. So thank you guys. Okay, another song. This one is a kind of a bit of more of an unusual choice, I guess. It's not obviously a Halloween song, but it does have a really cool chord progression, and it's called Creep, right? So we can get away with it. So this one's a classic Radiohead song from the mid-90s. This was on, I'm probably going to get this wrong. Tim will probably know if I've got this wrong, because he's a amazing music nerd like me. I think it was on Pablo Honey, which was Radiohead's first album. I hope I've got that right. It was before the Bends and all that, wasn't it? Absolute brilliant song, but really, really simple. It's 4 chords over and over. That's all there is to it. Isn't that neat? But it sounds really effective because it builds, and that's something that we're going to work on with this one. This is a perfect Kanikapila song. I think once I've taught you these chords, see if you can do away with the paper altogether and see if you can play this from memory, because you just got to do the same thing over and over. Then you can really get into the rhythm and the dynamics and everything, which we're going to work on, which is great. Now, some of you might recognise this chord progression from other songs. We start with a G chord. We're in the key of G again, so G is our 1 chord, sets us off on the journey. Then we go to the 3 chords. Now, the 3 chord in any song has a darkness to it, just like it did when we did People Are Strange. The Doors song had the 3 chord in it as well. And it does create a sense of foreboding or darkness, even when it's played as a major chord as it is here. Normally, in the key of G, the B would be a B minor, like this. But we're actually going to play it as a B. You can think of that as just a B flat, which you can play either like this or like this. You can think of it as just that shape moved up 1. So if you prefer, you could just play these down here. Now, some students, and for right reasons, they're really tricky to get used to, bar chords. A lot of students are put off by bar chords. If you really struggle with this one, try it first. Just try getting this finger down. Put it at a bit of an angle like this rather than straight. See if you can cover those bottom 2 strings. And then when you feel comfortable, see if you can up and over, thumb on the back, remember, that's really key. Because if I put my thumb over the top, it makes these fingers flatten down, so I'm not going to get a clear note. So thumb on the back, this one reaches up and over. Just practice playing those 3. Get them nice and clear. If you get this sound, just need to move that finger over to the right. And then finally up and over one more time with that ring finger. And with practice, you'll get that. You can also bar that one if you find it more comfortable. It's absolutely fine as well. You can also get away with playing a B7 here. I think normally I would say absolutely don't do that because a B7 is different from a B. But actually, I think it works with the discordant feel of this song. So I think you can get away with playing a B7 if you really struggle with that one as well. Then we go to a C chord. Now this is interesting. Those of you that are a little bit more confident, it's great to start thinking about different places you can play chords. And with a C chord, all you need to do is move that B chord up one further and we turn it into a C chord. And it makes sense, right? Because we've gone B flat, B, C. If I went too higher again, I get a D. It's a movable chord. And in fact, if I go the other way and I go C, B, B flat, if I keep going back and this finger falls off, I get an A. So it's coming from that A position, moved up. Now, if you're not that confident and you hate bar chords and you find this uncomfortable, well, of course, it's absolutely fine just to go back to your C here. Okay, absolutely fine. It's not a problem at all. Now, again, two more options. If you have gone up here for this C, if you play it with a bar, to get to C minor, all you need to do is take this finger away. Okay, so that gives you your C minor. So if you're into your bar chords, you could even do G here. You could do G. You could do B here. Just move that finger up. You could do C here. And you could do C minor here. That would look like this. Whenever I need the lyrics. Hang on. Where are they? Where are they? Where are they? There we are. When you're here before, couldn't look you in the eye. No, it's only one finger moving. You're just like an angel. Shift it up. And then C minor, I take away that finger. Skin makes me cry. You float like a feather, and so on and so forth. Now, if you're new to bar chords, you'll probably find that after a little while, your hand starts to ache. That could be two reasons. Firstly, it could be because you're pressing too hard, which is a common thing to do. Don't sweat it. We all do it. It could be that your string action, the height of your strings off your fretboard are a bit too high, which makes barring uncomfortable. Might be you need to build up that strength. So if you want a little bit of a break from those bar chords and you prefer to do open, you could do normal G major here. B, you are going to have to do either this way, though you could do your B7. And then for the next two, give yourself some relief by just coming back to a C chord. And then C minor, you can either use one finger across the bottom three strings like this, or I quite often like to introduce these two like this. Okay, so I have G, when you were here before, then B, couldn't look you in the eye, you're just like an angel. Skin makes me cry. And then just keep that going round, right? You float like a feather. And just keep it going round and round. So that's all there is to it. For this one, I tend to keep a really straightforward strum on this. I like to do walk, 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 running. Let me just take a quick slip. Very cold coffee. It's fine. Not warm enough to be nice and not cold enough to be iced coffee. Somewhere right in the middle where it's not very nice. Okay, so I like to do walk, 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 running. Walk, 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 running. Down, 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 up, down, 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 up. Really simple, right? When you're here before, couldn't look you in the eye. And then if you want to add a few more ups in, you can. Just like an angel, your skin makes me cry. beautiful thing, right? If you start your strum pattern simple, then you can build it up. That's why I kind of generally dislike it when people give you one strum pattern at the start of a piece and say that's it all the way through, because you need those dynamics to build up and down. So what I tend to do is just that walk, walk, walk running at the start. But when it gets later on, it gets like really intense. I like to add more ups in. All I'm doing is still strumming up and down, but just touching more on the way up. And that's something I really want you to experiment with this one. Another thing you can do is a really simple picking pattern. I like to do a really kind of simple inside-outside on this one. So I like to use my thumb and first finger, and I like to do the inside two strings. I'll come down here so you can see a bit better. And then the outside two strings. Inside, outside, inside, outside. Notice how I can do all of that with just two fingers. You could go more Pima style like this. Or you could go a bit more freestanding. With free strokes. Whatever feels most comfortable to you. But I kind of like just that simple thumb. So C string, E string, G string, A string, inside, outside. Now what I'm going to do, and you don't have to copy this, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that picking pattern for the first verse. It will look and sound something like this. When you're here before, couldn't look you in the eye. You're just like an angel. Your skin makes me cry. So on and so forth. That chord progression, I forgot to say, some of you might recognise it. All I need is the air that I breathe and to love. It's not that bit, is it? But it's from the air that I breathe. All I need is the air that I breathe and to love you. I think it's the verse to that. And Tom York basically nicked the chords to that song. Great chords, they work beautifully. Notice that C minor at the end. Turning that 4 into a minor chord gives it real angst, doesn't it? Which is really beautiful. Other than that, though, if you look at it, it's just 1, 3, and 4. That's all it is in terms of Roman numerals. But that 4 just gives it a little bit of kind of darkness at the end, which is really lovely. So I tend to finger pick the first verse and the first chorus. Then by verse 2, I like to start very light down strums, or that walk, 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 running, walk, 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 running, really. But notice how light I'm strumming, I'm barely touching the strings. And then when I get to the next chorus, I really start to belt it out. Really give it some oomph. And when you hit the bridge, really go for it, really give it some oomph then as well. And then the outro, I'm going to go back to picking. So it brings it way back down. So even though it's the same, just 4 chords over and over, we should, if we perform it well, get some real highs and some real lows, which is really key to playing good kind of music, particularly emotive music like this. If you want to, you can do, when I come out of the bridge, he just sings the word run, and this will break some windows. I'm not very good at it. I'm not Tom York, but he sings run. And he just really belts it out, and I'll try my best to do that. And whilst I'm doing that, you could do some long sustained notes. Again, it'll be from that G major, E minor pentatonic scales. So the same one that we've used for nearly every song tonight. And sometimes just staying on a couple of notes. I like to play the A and G note from that. Sounds really effective. I'll show you what I mean. Let's see if I can get my backing track going again. So for this one, just 2 notes sounds really effective. Oh, let me put it back to the start a second. I'll give you an example. Let me come in on close camera. Okay. Notice I'm just hitting a couple of notes. G and A. Hardly any notes there at all. So I was really exaggerating that, but notice I don't need to do like tons and tons of notes. Sometimes I can just go really, just hit a couple of notes and really eke it out. Do those long sustained notes and it sounds really, really lovely. Lovely. I love that, Fran. Yeah, you go for it. Go. I support that wholeheartedly. And I hope you get the result that you want, for sure. Okay, let's give it a go then, guys. Let's give it a go from the top. Yeah, I think I'll stay like this. That's my picking pattern. I'll come up a little bit higher, but I might drop my uke to my knee in a minute so you can see what's going on. Let's do one verse as an instrumental, and then we'll go from there. Just keep picking or strumming, same chords again and again and again. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. B. C, and then the minor. When you're here before, couldn't look you in the eye. You're just like an angel. Your skin makes me cry. You float like a feather in a beautiful world. I wish I was special. You're so very special. But I'm a creep. I'm a widow. What the hell am I doing here? I don't belong here. I don't care if it hurts. I wanna have control. I want a perfect body. I want a perfect soul. I want you to notice when I'm not around. You're so very special. I wish I was special, but I'm a creep. I'm a widow. What the hell am I doing here? I don't belong here. Oh, oh, oh. She wanted out the door. She wanted out. She'll run, 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 Whatever makes you happy, whatever you want. You're so very special. I wish I was special, but I'm a creep. I'm a widow. What the hell am I doing here? I don't belong here. I don't belong here. Yeah, cool. Brilliant. I hope you enjoyed that, guys. I hope no one's windows smashed as I as I hit that high part. That's a hard note to get. I think I just about made it, but I don't think I made it very well. Great song. When I kind of grew up with Radiohead and all that sort of stuff. So when I grew up, I grew up not far from here. I grew up in a town called Tewkesbury, which is kind of famous for our Norman Abbey and all the old beautiful black and white buildings. Then I moved to Devon for a while. Then I went to London, and that's where I had my band and everything. And then eventually moved back out west again. So I'm kind of close to where I grew up. And the first gigs that I went to see were in Gloucester Leisure Centre, which is where my kids used to go swimming until recently. And we saw, the classics, from back then, Radiohead and Oasis and Cast and all that sort of stuff, Sleeper. Radiohead were on the Benz tour, I think it was, before. Yeah, it was the Benz. I also saw them on the OK Computer tour, but we saw them on the Benz tour. And that tour, it's the hottest I've ever been at a gig. And it was one of those gigs where it's a tiny venue and they really went for it. And I was only little, so rather than moshing, all I used to do is I get right into the middle of the mosh pit. I put my arms like this, and I would take my feet off the floor, and I would just I would move about. I'd end up over here and over here, in front of the stage, back here. It was amazing, and my feet basically wouldn't touch the floor for the whole gig. I used to just get carried about because everyone was squished in like sardines. But great fun. I remember coming out of that gig, again, probably too much information, and my dad picked us up, bless him, in his car. And he didn't want to let us in at first because me and all my teenage friends were absolutely dripping with sweat. And we probably stank to high heaven as well. So, oh my goodness, but that was a great gig. That's a good one. Let's see, a couple of things come on. Moon. Oh, thank you. Yeah. The moon on this special nice ukulele reminds me of the blue ukulele series from Taimani. Oh, cool. Thank you. Oh, and you're very kind. You're very kind, Andre. Thank you. This one's, this is a new uke. I've not bought a new uke in a long time. And then, I run the Ukulele Festival of Great Britain. We brought it back this summer. And we had a luthier talk with Aaron Kime, who is one of our brilliant performers. But we also had Pat McGowan come over and join in. And Pat McGowan is a brilliant ukulele builder. You can see his signature in there, I think. And he builds ukuleles. He's built them for some brilliant players. Like James Hill plays mostly Pat McGowan ukuleles, as well as a few others. Funny enough, he plays some of Aaron's instruments as well, Maya Moe and Beansprout. But I played a ukulele that Pat brought over, and I absolutely fell in love with it. And he'd already sold it. Someone bought it at the festival. But he had this one that had been built for... it was one of my online friends, and some of you might have met him or know him. He played a lot of classical ukulele, and his name was Donald Boosted, and sadly he was taken from us very recently, and really sad. He's really missed in the ukulele world. And this was the ukulele that Pat was building for him, and I felt a bit awkward about it because it should have belonged to Donald, but Pat said, just enjoy it and give it a new life. So I ended up taking it for myself, and I love it to bits. It's called Ariel. So it's a 12 frets to body tenor, but it's quite a small body tenor. It's almost like a concert body, and then this lovely short scale. I love it. It's a beautiful ukulele that I've been playing. So yeah, and it has a nice soft sound, which I really love. So yeah. So I was just giggling at Indrani's comment. I used to get really self-conscious of my singing because I never thought that anyone, because we got quite thick walls, and I didn't think that our neighbours could hear us. And then one summer they were like, "Oh, I really liked it when you played that song." And I was like, "Oh, I was really embarrassed." It's like, "Oh my goodness, it's been hearing everything." Right, let's have a look. Anyway, I'm gabbing on a bit, so let's do one more song. We're going to play one more song, and we're going to keep it really, really simple. I'm not even probably going to put in a solo on this. If you want to do some solo licks or whatever whilst we're playing, it's again G major. I didn't plan this, but a lot in the key of G tonight, so you could use that G major pentatonic scale and that E minor pentatonic as well. Oh, thanks, Indrani. Yeah, it's cool with the moon on, isn't it? That's one of Pat's signature things. Quite sweet abalone. And I can't remember what the back and sides are made of. That's really embarrassing. But it's not mahogany. It looks like mahogany, but it's not. I think it might be Australian blackwood, but I'll have to check with Pat. Anyway, so we're going to do an absolute Halloween classic next. This is like, we did this I think last year, and we did it. I think we may have even done it the year before as well. We're going to do Bobby, Boris, Pickett and the Crypt Kickers Monster Mash, which is an absolute classic. Thank you, by the way, to Esther for all her amazing work putting the sheets together, Karen for her help and the brilliant fascinating facts, and Indrani for her checking over as well. So thank you guys, much appreciated. They look great again, as always. So this one, they were in another band. It says in the fascinating facts, I've forgotten the name, so I'm just going to look it up a sec. There we go. The Cordials. That was the band that Bobby Pickett was in. And then him and his friend Lenny Capizzi, probably saying that wrong, but they were massive fans of Boris Karloff. You know, Boris Karloff, Dracula, spoke in that very low voice. So they kind of did this as a bit of a tribute to him. And funny enough, there is actually a version of Boris Karloff singing this, so it's pretty cool actually. So this is basically Bobby Pickett doing his best Boris Karloff impression, and it's just a whole heap of fun, isn't it? Now, in terms of the chords, it's kind of classic doo-wop. So in doo-wop, we have these really common chord progressions. The most two common chord progressions in doo-wop are 1, 6, 2, 5 and 1, 6, 4, 5. They're almost the same thing. So 1, again, sets you off on a journey. That creates the resolution when we go to that. The 6th chord is a minor chord, but it's not dark like the 3 chord. It just has a slight sense of melancholy. And it moves beautifully into the 4 chord, in this case C. Yeah, that's it, Frankenstein's monster. And of course this is sung in the voice of Frankenstein. And then the 5 chord D. Now if I play those together, and rather than putting them 2 measures apart, if I play them really quickly, see if you recognise this. It's like every doo-wop progression ever, right? You could even blue moon, I saw you standing above, without a song in your heart. It's like that classic doo-wop progression. Goes back to I Got Rhythm and things like that, which is great. Thank you, Sheila. Yeah, good. Yeah, it's really important, isn't it, to push yourself. I always say to all my students that you kind of, to learn, you want to be just on the edge of your comfort zone. Not so much that you're totally freaked out and you think, I'm never ever going to do this, but just on the edge of your comfort zone. That's the best way to learn. That's what I found over the years anyway. So classic doo-wop progression, only this time, rather than doing 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, where we play each chord for 2 beats, we have each chord for 2 measures, so a lot longer. And I'm just going to swing this with an up and down strum. Nothing fancy at all, just down, up, down, up, down, up. And it'll sound cool like this. G, E minor, C, and then our D chord. We just keep that going round and round. It really is that simple. Notice my little tip. I've given you this loads of times, haven't I, guys? But if you ever want to do it, G chord to E minor, rather than resetting, just put your little pinky on the 4th fret of the C string, because this finger there cancels out this finger. All right, so it's a really neat trick when you go from G to E minor. You might notice me do it. I just do that rather than having to reset all my fingers. And then I just drop down my third finger there. Could even keep that one in place. And then, if you want a challenge, guys, and you're into your bar chords, you could do G here, like an F shape that's been moved up. You could stay there and move these fingers around for an E minor. What am I doing wrong? Oh, need those both on the same fret, like that. Bit of a squish, that one. And then for C, just move it up and across. And D. I'll do that again. So G is an F shape. E minor. Okay, this one comes down and this one comes next to it in the same fret. C, like a B flat moved up, and D too higher. All right, but if in doubt, I'm just going to do the open chords because I find it sounds really sweet and open. That's basically it for this song. There really isn't very much to it, but it's just good fun, right? Now, in the bridge, we just go between the 4 chord. Remember, bridges tend to start with the 4 chord for change. 2 measures of that, and then we just have the 5 chord for tension. And then we do it again. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And that 5 chord makes us want to go back to G at the start of the next bit. And that's it. That is all there is to it. It just goes round and round. Now, if you're following it, it goes verse, chorus, bridge, verse, chorus, verse, chorus, verse, chorus. So mostly just verse, chorus over and over. The chorus is the same chords to the bridge, to the verse, all right? So the verse and the chorus are exactly the same thing. The only bit where it changes in this song is where it goes to the bridge, and that's just C and D. So just look out for the zombies we're having fun, which is C and D. Otherwise, keep strumming this combination again and again. You can see how many words there are. There's not really any room for a solo, but you can add a few licks in here and there if you fancy it. So this is going to be our last one for tonight. I hope you've really enjoyed tonight. I know I've not gone too Halloween-y tonight. I've not gone too over the top. Well, I do have a cobweb on my ukulele and a skeleton behind me, so that counts, right? But I hope you've enjoyed a little taste of Halloween. And if you're not into it, totally fine. If you are into it, really enjoy it. Just get into your trick or treat and put some sweets out for the kids. Even if you don't enjoy Halloween, I think making a pumpkin is great fun because carving a pumpkin is great fun because you can take all the seeds out and you can roast them as a snack, and they're really nice. They go well with a cold beer. That's my favourite thing to do with them. Okay, let's give it a try then. From the top, thanks for all your kindness and support, guys. Thanks for joining in. I'll stick around for 10 minutes at the end just to see if there's any questions. Here we go. Happy Halloween. 1, 2, 3, 4, G. Oh my goodness, I haven't got the words up. I always get a bit mad at the end, don't I? Sorry, there it is. Here we go. I'll try it again. Sorry, guys. Let me just get the chords up as well. Here we go. Fantastic. I've got this all on my iPad, so I can kind of just glance off in this direction. Look at it. 1, 2, 3, 4, G. E minor. C. If you're singing along, you've got to do your best Boris Karloff impression, right? I give it my best. As I was working in the lab late one night, when my eyes beheld an eerie sight, for my monster from his slab began to rise, and suddenly, to my surprise, what did he do? He did the mash, he did the monster mash, the monster mash. It was a graveyard smash, he did the mash, he did the monster mash, he did the mash, he did the monster mash. From my laboratory in the castle east, master bedroom where the vampires feast. The ghouls all came from the humble abodes to get a job from my electrodes. They did the mash, they did the monster mash, the monster mash. It was a graveyard smash, it caught on like a flash. They did the mash, they did the monster mash bridge. The zombies were having fun. The party had just begun. The guests included to arrive with the vocal group, the Crypt Kicker 5. They did the mash, they did the monster mash, the monster mash. It was a graveyard smash, they did the mash. It caught on like a flash, they did the mash. They played the monster mash. Out from his coffin, Drax's voice did ring. Seems he was troubled by just one thing. He opened the lid and he shook his fist and said, whatever happened to my Transylvania twist? It's now the mash, it's now the monster mash, the monster mash. It's a graveyard smash, it's now the mash. It caught on like a flash, it's now the mash, it's now the monster mash. Now everything's cool, Drax part of the band, and my monster mash is the hit of the land. For you that live it, this mash was meant to. When you get to my door, tell them Boris sent you. And it's the mash. They call it the monster mash, monster mash. It was a graveyard smash, they call it the mash. It'll catch on like a flash, the mash. Then you can monster mash, they did the mash. They did the monster mash, the monster mash. It was a graveyard smash, then you can mash. You'll catch on like a flash, then you can mash. You do the monster mash, the monster mash. Oh my goodness, that song is utterly ridiculous, but I hope you enjoyed it anyway. I did. I just find it fun. I just find it great fun. And isn't it? I mean, even if you think that's just absolutely awful, which it kind of is, it's interesting, isn't it, that those doo-wop chords are used for everything. Blue Moon to the Monster Mash, who'd have thought it? And it all goes back to George Gershwin and I Got Rhythm. So I bet he didn't imagine this would come of them when he wrote those chords to I Got Rhythm. But there you go. That's what happens. Let us know how you got on, folks. I hope you really enjoyed that. I certainly have, and I hope it's kind of put you in a ghoulish way. I know not everyone loves Halloween, but I like the fun of it. It's just all a bit of fun. So I won't be here next week because I'm on holiday. Thanks, Pam. Thanks, guys. I'm going down to sunny Dorset for a week with the kids and Sharon to put my feet up and have a bit of rest. And with my mum and dad as well. So we're taking mum and dad as well. So we're going to have a big old family outing down to Dorset. And I'm hoping I'm going to see the sea and have a bit of a paddle. It might be very cold. You never know. Have a walk around Arn, see Corfe Castle, all that sort of stuff. So I'm going to be away next Monday, but we will be back the Monday afterwards when I think we've got the Bird special. Not as in the flappy ones, as in the band. We're going to do some classic songs by the Byrds. And even if you're not into the Byrds, these are pop classics. I think you're going to love it. Really interesting and really great to play as well. So Bird special when we get back from my holiday next week. Also, we'll have the Beatles course starting that week, which is exciting. And of course, we've got the preview of that because we're going to take a look at it at a live lesson. I think I've put this up about 100 times today. Sorry, guys. But yeah, join me this Wednesday for our next live lesson, 3:30 for the Beatles, when we're going to have a look at Penny Lane. And then the course will start when we're back after my holiday in November, which is going to be really fun. I can't wait to do this course. I'm really excited about that. Me too. Thanks, Rebecca. I kind of I like Halloween because it kicks off the festive season. I know it sounds strange for such a weird holiday, but yeah. But I like it because you get, I get a bit, sometimes I get, I'll be honest, I get SAD, seasonal affective disorder. So I can get a little bit down in the winter months when we lose the sunshine, it gets a bit dark. You guys know me, I love nature and outdoors, and I love going out looking for my butterflies, and they all die off at this time of year, which is a little bit depressing. But I love the kind of fun that you get of Halloween, and then I love we have bonfire night here. Where we have all the fireworks and everything, and it's just a real joyous time to be with family and kind of enjoy the autumn rather than getting a bit down about it. And then of course it's not long until Christmas after that, so it's a great time of year, isn't it? Lots of great celebrations, which is fantastic. And then after Christmas, then it's not that long till spring and all the butterflies are back again. Also, I forgot to say actually, if anyone's still here and is still interested, Donna from the cruise, who's running Captain Sandy's cruise that I'm teaching on, she wanted me to let you know, and I put more details about this on Facebook and on the mail out as well, that there are 2 people looking for roommates. So for the cruise, it's this February, last day of February it leaves, for a 10-day cruise around the Southern Caribbean. I'm going to teach on all of the sea days. We're going to have lessons for all abilities. We're going to have Kanikapila live, all sorts of fun stuff going on. And then we dock at Aruba, Bonaire and Curacao, where we'll see flamingos and beautiful tropical waters. If you want to join us, to save money, you can share a cabin with another attendee if you'd like to, and we have 1 lady and 1 man looking for a cabin. So if anyone's interested, get in touch with Donna. There's a page all about it on the Ukulele Festival of Great Britain site. I've created a separate page for the Caribbean cruise, so you can look up all the details there, or you can email me and I can pass on Donna's email address as well. Donna and Harry are lovely people that are organising it, and they can give you all the details if you're interested. But it's going to be a fantastic trip. I'm super excited, about it. So it's going to be really lovely. So if anyone's after a cabin they want to share, get in touch and come along, because it's going to be amazing. I know I'm biased, but I'm so excited about it. I just cannot wait. Honestly, I can't. I'm bringing the kids and Sharon as well, so they're going to come and they're going to be the tourists, and they'll put their feet up whilst I'm teaching and we're all playing ukulele. So it's going to be fun. Oh, sorry to hear that, Karen. Yeah, it's a hard time of year for that. It hit me quite hard this year, to be honest. Normally, I've been a bit better in recent years, but I think because my summer was so busy, it went like that, and then suddenly when the dark nights came in, it's like, oh my goodness, what's happened to the year? It's just kind of disappeared. So it's a difficult one, isn't it? It's a difficult one, but try and enjoy all those little highlights. That's what I do. So. Yeah, I'll be spoiling the kids on holiday, putting loads of sweets out for Halloween and all that, and enjoy the fun side of it like that, even if I'm not into all the ghoulish stuff. So yeah, hopefully that'll help. So hi Rita, I've not seen you in ages. I hope you're keeping well, Rita. Hope you're doing well. If you missed the start, you can always catch up later on. But yeah, good to see you. I hope you're keeping well as well. So yeah, hope everything's all good where you are. So just as a reminder, we're away next Monday, and then we're back the Monday afterwards. But hopefully I'll see some of you on Wednesday for the live lesson. And after we're back, we're just going to go through every week until Christmas then. So hopefully, talking about SAD and everything, hopefully these Mondays will bring a little bit of sunshine to your dark winter nights. That's what I hope. They certainly do for me, and I hope they do for you guys as well. So yeah, exactly. Gotcha, Lisa. Yeah. I'm sorry to hear that, but the cruise and the sunshine will make it all a lot better, won't it? Absolutely. Thanks, Rita. Thank you. Yeah, I hope you can make some more of them now you're back, Rita. Hope you're doing well. If I can help you with anything, just give me a shout anytime. I'm always here. All right. Well, take care, everyone. Sending all my love. We'll be back in 2 weeks' time for our next Kanikapila. Happy Halloween if you celebrate it. If you don't, happy autumn. And I will see you in 2 weeks' time. Take care. Much love. Bye.